channel. So today I wanted to talk about my experience being a vegetarian and the top 5 tips I have for people who are thinking about cutting out meat and not sure what they want to do going into it or what things they should look out for. So I just wanted to make this video talking a little about my experience and some things that I think would have helped me and probably will help other people out there. So I began being a vegetarian about a month ago, so I'm really a beginner at this and I'm still learning things. And one of my main reasons for becoming a vegetarian was, like many people, I didn't want to contribute to the meat industry anymore. I feel that they are a large part of our carbon footprint, and I feel like it's really impacting the environment. And the way our environment is looking at this point and the climate, I just thought, I don't want to be the reason for the earth being destroyed. As horrible as that sounds, but it's kind of truthful. But yeah, that was my particular reason for going vegetarian. Also, I think that the lifestyle is healthier. And in the future, I do plan on transitioning to vegan, but I kind of wanted to go into this slowly. So this is what I'm doing now. So yeah. Okay, so tip number 1 that I feel is the most important out of all of them is to track your protein. I know going into it, you think, oh, okay, like I'll probably get it from whatever source, like I probably eat enough. When I tell you that my first week, I didn't realize that I depended so much on my meat for protein that it was crazy. And when I began to track it one day, I realized that the only thing that I had that was really protein based was probably like beans and rice for dinner, which is not enough if you're deciding to completely cut out meat. So it's really important that you track, and in the grams too, how much protein you're actually getting from the food that you eat. So let's say, like for me, I know I'm a woman, I'm kind of small, so like my average protein intake should be around 40 grams or so. So like I decided that, okay, I'm going to track how much protein I'm getting with each of my meals. So in the morning, I usually have probably an egg sandwich, which I know some people are like, eggs, that's not really vegetarian. I have my own reasons for, like I said, it's a slow transition, but I do eat eggs. So I decided, okay, I had like 3 eggs in the morning. That's about 18 grams because there's about like 6 grams in each egg. So that's like 18 grams. During the day, I'd make an effort to have maybe like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something, maybe a falafel sandwich or something like that. And that's already like another 10 grams or so. So I know I'm like about halfway there. And dinner time's where I really pack on how much protein I get. So I may have beans and rice and maybe like a meat substitute in there. So like that really is what kicks in the rest of my protein. So I can't stress how important it is to track your protein, because there's no point in going vegetarian if you're going to be deficient and you're going to be less healthy than you started out. So really important, track your protein, make sure that you're getting all the protein that you need and not just from one source, from many different sources, so that you get all the amino acids that you need. And like that's the most important part. You want to transition to being a healthy vegetarian, not a vegetarian that eats pizza all the time and now is iron deficient. That wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so tip number 2 is to find foods that you like that don't have meat in it. So before you just jump into being vegetarian, I think it's a good thing to think about the different foods that you enjoy and the foods that don't have meat in it that you enjoy, and then maybe find some way to incorporate something that has protein in it so that you end up still enjoying it and it's not like you're cutting out all your favorite foods. So, you don't want to go into it and feel like you're eating nothing but salads and things that you don't really enjoy as much as some other things. It's good to go into it knowing that, oh, I can still eat the foods that I like, you just tweak them a little bit. And like, this is not a long tip at all, but I just think it's really important, and it seems like, oh, of course, like there's foods that I like, but it's like when you think about it, also it has to be healthy foods that you like. So I know I keep using pizza, but it's a really good example. Like, I like pizza, but like, and that's like one of my favorite foods. But if I just go and eat pizza all the time, like, that's not okay. So yeah, maybe I like pizza, but there's other things that I like too. So I know that I really like, let's see. So I really like gyros. So now I'm like, okay, one of my favorite foods is gyros. So I'll have like a gyro with falafels in it instead of chicken. So it doesn't really feel like I'm giving up my favorite foods. It just kind of feels like I'm tweaking it a bit. And I think that really helps because it helps to still enjoy food, and you don't have that like, oh, I miss meat so much. It kind of just feels like a normal transition that doesn't feel like you're giving up things. It just feels normal. Okay, so tip number 3. I think this one is one that really made me learn the hard way. Do not, or I should say, try not to go a long time without eating. When I say that this is when I become like a monster, I'm just like, I just want to eat anything. I was like, I don't even want to be a vegetarian anymore. I just want to eat something, like meat or not. Like, this is the time when I really get that feeling, and I'm in my beginning stages, so I still, like I still have my cravings, but I realize when I'm my most hungry is when I just want to eat anything. Like, it doesn't matter. And like, this is times where I'll find myself debating, like, is this really worth it? But then like, I have to remind myself, like, okay, you just gotta go home and you gotta like cook. So maybe like a good thing that I think for me that helped was sometimes meal prepping. Like, before I go to the gym, I know like I'll make a meal that I can have after I get out the gym, because I know that's when I'm really hungry and I just want to eat anything in sight. So meal prepping definitely helps. Another thing that probably helps is eating before you're going to go a long time without eating. So I know this sounds like duh, like who doesn't? But like sometimes, you're rushing. Like, if you're going to work, don't forget to eat, because at the end of work, you'll just want to eat anything you see in sight, and it won't matter. And you'll really have that craving, and you'll really start debating if you want to do this. So make sure you eat before you go a long time without eating. Make sure maybe to meal prep so that you don't have to go home and cook and still be hungry and just want to eat anything and it doesn't really matter. I think that really would have helped me, and I think it definitely will help someone else out there who, I know some people forget to eat because they're really busy. So I know that would definitely help. Okay, so tip number 4. And this one I think is more from the medical side of me that like just wants to make sure everyone's healthy. But I think a good tip is to know where you start at and know how your levels are in your body. So what I mean by all of this is, I think it's good if you can. I know not everyone has like access to healthcare and whatnot, but if you can, try and get a blood test to see where your levels are. So see where your cholesterol is, where your iron levels are, things of that nature. So you know how you are when you're starting out, you know your baseline. And then maybe in like 3 months from now, which is what I'm gonna do, is get another test to see, oh, like, am I still the same? Did maybe I improve? One thing you don't wanna do is all of a sudden become deficient, or like now your cholesterol is shooting through the roof because you're eating eggs all the time. So that's one of those things where if you can, I definitely think that it's a good idea to see where you're at, see how your body is naturally when you were eating meat, and then now see how it is after. It also kind of gives you like a good guideline to see like, oh, is this like the right thing for me? And I know maybe it's not the right thing for everyone. I'm not one of those people who think, like everyone has to not eat meat. Like, that'd be great, but I know that's not everyone's prerogative, so I'm not going to force anyone. But yeah, I think it's definitely good to see where you're at and where you're going and how this diet's working for you. And my last tip number 5, this one's more of, I guess you could say, how you are as a person. I think it's really good to maybe develop a thick skin. I can't tell you how many dumb comments I've gotten from people or dumb jokes where it's just like, ha ha ha. And like the first time you're like, ha ha, oh Joe. But like, when I tell you that like it's never ending, it's almost never ending. Especially when you go out to eat. Like, I know with my friends, it was like one thing we used to do a lot is like we used to go out and like get like half off wings. Like that's something we did a lot. So when I told them like, oh, like I'm a vegetarian now, they're like, no, why? Like, now how are we gonna do that? And I'm like, yeah, sorry guys. Like, and you know, like to my friends, it's like whatever. I don't care telling them that. But then, you know, like they'll ask me, oh, are you still doing it? And it's like, yeah, I'm still going. Like, thanks for the support. And it's just, I guess, good to develop a thick skin because a lot of people are going to tell you, like, that's dumb. Why are you doing that? Like, humans were meant to eat meat. You're going to hear a lot of those comments. Like, you're going to hear it all the time. Anytime food comes up, you're going to hear it. I know my boyfriend's a vegan, so he hears double the amount of comments, dumb comments that I hear. So it's just good to develop a thick skin and not let those people get to you or not let you think, you know, what you're doing is dumb. You know, you're doing it for yourself, whatever reasons that may be, and that's fine. I think it's just good to know that you are going to hear these comments. Some people may not be supportive. I know my mom in particular, she happens to be supportive. She still sometimes cooks dinner for me, so she'll cook something that I can eat. I know not everyone's parents are supportive out there, so in that case, I guess it's good to, you know, learn to cook different meals so that you can do it yourself and you don't have to rely on anyone. But I definitely think that, you know, you need to be able to handle all the backlash / comments / okay, I've heard this 1,000 times that you're probably gonna get. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're into life as a vegetarian, natural hair videos, or spirituality and crystals, subscribe above to see weekly videos about that. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!